We found the hardest things to put that car through, to challenge it, to challenge our team, to challenge me as a driver. When that clock goes off, put your foot on that pedal and see how fast you can do it. It's you and your navigator. She's telling you what's coming up. So I know after this turn, I'm going to be in second gear and I'm going to come out and go flat on the gas. Or no, I'm not. I'm going into another turn immediately. And it's all about how fast you are. The fastest car wins. The energy, the adrenaline, everything, it can become addictive. My name is Renée Brinkerhoff. I'm 66 years old. I drive a 1956 Porsche in extreme rallies around the world. Older cars are challenging. You don't have power steering. You don't have power brakes. This actually has drum brakes from the 50s. Got the original engine. It's made to be a 1600. We do have some better carburetors on it than what it came with. We also have like a sump pump kind of thing here, so you don't dry out your engine when you are racing through turns quickly. I have had that happen before where you burn up an engine just because of the sloshing of the oil from the left to the right. That's an expensive mistake. So there's a couple things we've done to change it, but otherwise it's very, very original. I love being in an old car. It's more challenging, it's more risky, it's more dangerous. And I love that feeling of being in union with your car. I started racing in my mid-50s. I was finished homeschooling my children, my job that I embraced and loved for over 20 years. I put my dreams and hopes aside. I put them in a box on a shelf, and my focus was my children and their education, being a soccer coach and driving the carpools and all the things you do, right? When the kids were all out of the house, I had that epiphany, one day I'm going to race a car. Why I said I'm going to race a car, I have no idea. I had no background with racing, automobiles, anything in this world. I think it just had to be something way out there and extreme, and that's what I came up with. So, okay, I gotta go do this thing. And if I am gonna do it, I'm gonna do it to the nines. I started taking some lessons, but those are all modern cars. You go to a racing school, you're in a modern car with all those computer systems. There's no comparison to an old car like this, 60-some years old, doesn't have any nanny features. It's not gonna save you. It's not gonna correct for your mistakes. Having the engine at the back, it makes it more challenging for a driver because the weight is here. So here, the back end can just whip around and take off on you, and you have to really pay attention. It takes a lot more skill to drive this type of car than even an old car with the engine in the front. I didn't know all those things when I chose this car. For me, I loved the way it looked. I loved the curves, the width of it, and I loved the way it sounded. It reminded me of my souped-up VW Bug I had in high school. And I just totally connected with this car the first time I saw it. So here we are, 25,000 miles later. Rally racing is on roads. The race could be 3 or 4 days. It could be 7 or 10 days, or over 30 days. Sometimes 100 cars, 300 cars, 50 cars. And it doesn't have the protective kind of features that a track would have. You don't have hay bales or, things that would help you if you got in a crash on a certain corner. Those things don't exist. It's just a very raw environment. There's always unforeseen things that happen, whether they're rock slides or inclement weather. You're not wheel to wheel, like on a track. Every car goes out based upon their speed and their time, and that changes every day. If you're slower one day, you're behind. If you're faster, you're moved up. It's a competitive event. So how do you train? The race was my school. I heard about this race in Mexico, the Carrera Panamericana. So I went down in 2012 and did that to see, okay, you've told yourself you've got to do what you've been saying. One day I'm going to race a car, but can you? Or is it some crazy harebrained idea that you're not going to be able to do? I found an individual who needed someone to share the seat, navigating and driving. Sounds like a lot of fun. That's what I'm going to do. I had no idea I was getting involved in the most notorious, dangerous tarmac rally race in the world, and that 30% of the cars don't finish. First morning, someone died. A couple days later, cars are going off cliffs, catching on fire. My body's literally uncontrollably shaking the whole time. But off you go, and all those thoughts go away. The shaking stops, and you're in the groove, and you're racing, right? That was my baptism in fire. The following year, in 2013, is when I went down in my own car with my own team and everything, and that's when we made history. Our first year out, brand new team. As a woman driver, we went and won our class. It's about having courage and facing your fears and pushing through those and finding strengths you didn't know you had. The power that comes with that to affect change is remarkable, something you cannot imagine. Each year we were on the podium and realized we had a voice and people were listening to us. Whoa, how can we use that, grow our voice, and have an impact in this world? In 2017, we decided to take this amazing old little 66-year-old Porsche 356 and race it on every continent and put it in the most difficult, challenging situations it could be in for the car, for me as a driver, for our team, for everybody. Project 356 World Rally Tour. And the focus of that is to raise awareness and funds to combat child trafficking. Years ago, I met someone in the FBI. His job was to find people that were making, selling, and using child pornography of children who are too young to speak. And then he shared with me how that interfaces with child trafficking. And I thought, well, surely that's just like not very common. That doesn't happen much. And he said, oh no, it's a very big problem, and it's a growing problem. And that's how we got into doing this for these children. We've supported about 13 different organizations around the world. We're working on getting them not just rescued and reunited with their families, but also enabling them to have a new beginning. It's never going to be the same, but to try to give them that restoration. I feel very thankful and blessed on this end to be able to do that. Project 356 set a goal of raising $1 million. To date, we've raised a bit over $700,000. And now we are the first car to have been raced on every continent. Every single race we put that car in, it was a challenge. We're making it do things it was never intended to do. And so there's modifications along the way. For Antarctica, it had to have skis in the front and tracks in the back. Antarctica is probably the most extreme environment on the planet. You're in a whiteout. Are you going up? Are you going down? You can't see a thing. You can't see the horizon. You don't know what's sky, what's land. It was a race against the elements. We had 356 miles that we set, and because of all these problems, it took us 5 days to do 356 miles, when you could think you could just get that done in an afternoon, right? Gosh, it was incredible, and we mastered it. I never would have imagined ever, ever, ever that this is what I would be doing at this point in my life, or at any point in my life. And if it's meant to be, I will continue to do this until my last breath.